What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Free Spirit Tarot. I am Poetry. This reading is going to be a little bit different than I normally have for our Set Intention Saturday. On my way to work this morning, it was dark, so I couldn't record the video. I had to leave early because I had to take my dog to the vet for his follow-up. He had ear surgery the other day. So I left the house pretty early. So on my way home from work, I was like, how do I want to go ahead and present this Set Intentions? And I decided to take photos for you guys and kind of show you how I intuitively read things. So on the way home, I decided that every stoplight that I was going to be at, snap a picture. And I ended up hitting 5 stoplights where it allowed me to take pictures of photos of some things or persons and come up with the reading that we have today. So I'm going to explain to you what you're going to see because most of you are probably on your cell phones. The pictures may look small to you. The very first one is sitting at work and about to pull out a parking spot, and there's this wall of branches, and I very noticeably see 3 branches that are hanging down. Instantly put me in the mind of 3 of Wands. So the very first one that we're going to be dealing with is going to be the 3 of Wands, which normally can deal with expansion, progression, or moving forward. Being that these branches are hanging down, I saw that it's possibly losing focus of where we want to go next, the road in which we want to travel. The next thing I saw, because I was about to pull off from that parking spot, and I noticed some apple-like things in those branches. Look like could be fruit. It looked like could be flower that's about to blossom. I've been working there for 6 years. I've never seen flowers on that wall, so I'm not sure what exactly is going to blossom. But I normally park along that wall for me to notice that there's like something blooming there. And I counted 9 of them, reminding me of the coins. So that became the 9 of coins. And that's telling me that what I have been doing is fruitful. The changes that I've made in my life are starting to multiply. I feel content with where I am in life. So with my expansion, like I say, I started to expand, but then I became a little bit content, right? So the next one we're going to show is going to be the Chariot. I saw a truck with a trailer hanging on the back of it. It had a white license plate on the left-hand side, and that made me think of Chariot. The fourth one we're going to see is going to be, I believe, a Buddhist deity that's inside of a window. She reminded me of the Queen of Swords. So that's going to be our 4th card. And then the last one that I saw was a man walking with his dog with his head down. It was about to rain. And that put me in mind of the Fool. So I'm going to do a quick interpretation here, hopefully. A voiceover of the images, and you'll be able to see those images as well. And if I need to expand more time, then I'll come back and we'll continue on with me sitting in the car, just explaining what your reading is. I can tell you right up front, I believe that you need to take a risk. That's what our intentions this week is, to get out of the norm, get out of our head, stop being so realistic, stop being so logical, live life little and take a risk. That's my summation of what those cards mean, but I'll show you and we'll do the voice over here. All right, stay tuned. All right, y'all. So what we have is the 3 of Wands. There's 3 branches there that you're looking at that are actually facing down. And then in that same area, I noticed those 9 little plants. I wasn't sure if those was flowers, if they were fruit, but that reminded me of the 9 of coin. Then we have the Chariot. I saw a truck carrying a trailer that was pretty empty on the back. But one plate has like the white side, so it's the dark side. And it reminded me of the Chariot. And then I saw this deity in the window of this Buddhist building. And it reminded me of the Queen of Swords. Also next was the Fool, a young man walking down the street with his dog, with his head down. He had just left that clothing bin compartment by putting some clothes in there. And he reminded me of the Fool. So that's where this reading derived from. And so the message that we're getting today is about, for me, taking risk. That's what I'm seeing here. And we'll start off with the 3 of Wands on how that plays in or factors in to actually taking risk. So as you can see, the 3 of Wands are actually facing down. I don't really say it's in reverse, but with the 3 of Wands, normally it's about expansion. It's about progression, about moving forward. You've done what you need to do. You made the decision to actually move forward and follow your dreams, follow your paths. But with these branches going down, I don't see any upward mobility. I don't see that you're progressing forward like you want to. And that's one of the things that we want to achieve with the Three of Wands. So this week, we're going to take a look at why we're not moving forward like we want to. We've done everything we need to do, but we still don't seem as fulfilled as we could be. See, with the Nine of Coins, you see all of the beauty and the things and the fruit being manifested that you have been working on. All of that's there, but something is missing. See, you're at the Nine of Coins. You haven't reached the 10. You haven't made it. No, haven't made it to that 10 fulfillment. What is missing? You're doing everything right. You're looking at your bills. You're making sure everything's taken care of. Your family's taken care of. Your friendships are being cultivated. Your work life is being great. What are we missing? And so with the Chariot, even though we're moving forward, we seem to be moving in the opposite direction. Like we're going back towards it, trying to figure out what we lost. What was on the back of our Chariot that we were carrying that we no longer have, that's not giving us that joy that we need? We need to take a look at that. Okay? Why is our Chariot empty? It's supposed to be for victory. It's supposed to be for moving forward. It's supposed to be for your reward. But our Chariot is empty. So even though we're moving, we're right now constantly looking backwards. And that's what this Queen of Swords is telling me, is that, okay, I'm high up on my perch. I've used my brain. I've used my logic. I've used my common sense to reason with what I need to do in life. But I feel cold. I feel isolated. I don't feel like I'm doing anything for me. I'm up on this pedestal being everybody's everything. And there's something that I want for myself, especially with the way that this world is going today, how things are crazy. You don't know what's coming around the corner next. So with this Fool, like I said, he just dropped off clothes in the clothing bin and he was coming around. The rain is about to start coming down. What he did was pull his hat on tight, and he's trusting in himself that where he's going next is going to be where he needs to be. He's putting faith in his walk, that the rain is not going to come down too hard. He's trusting in himself. The loyal dog that's next to him is his own inner being. He's trusting in that he's going to get what he wants out of life and find some happiness, find what he's missing. And maybe that's what it is. Maybe just being there for everybody, being everybody's everything, being their mother, their best friend, their employer, their wife, their husband, whatever it is that they're trying to be. Whatever it is why we're not expanding in the way that we want to. Okay, while we are reaping the fruits of our labor, but we're still not satisfied. Why our Chariot feels empty. Why we're so in our head and so worried about it. Stop the worry. Just march on. Find your own path. Walk your own way. Don't worry about what everybody else is thinking. Especially if they're thinking it's a risk. It's not a risk for you any longer. This is just a new journey, a new path. You want to find out what it is that you like for yourself. Not what everybody else like, not what everybody else is doing. And we're going to take that risk. We're going to step out on faith. And we're going to make the changes that we need to do to progress and to make that Three of Wands grow upward. Make that Three of Wands expand higher. Be more fulfilled with our Nine of Coins. Add things to our Chariot so we can move forward. Love ourselves in our entirety. And don't be afraid to do things for us, for our own selves, for our own sanity, for our own well-being. Thanks for watching. Alrighty, so now that you've seen my made-up tarot cards based off of just driving through my neighborhood and taking photos of things that I locked into when I was sitting still at a stoplight, the basic message, just from what I've seen, is that yes, we have expanded, yes, we have grown, but we're starting to get crowded out by life, so to speak. We're always somebody else's something, you know what I'm saying? And you want some time to shine and show who you are. You want some time to just feel good about you and doing things for yourself. So this particular week, we're going to step out of the norm and do things for ourselves and make us feel good. Not contingent on anybody else, not being overcrowded or overshadowed by anybody else. We are stepping out of our head, not worrying about, okay, but if I do this, then what? We're not going to be doing any of that this week. We're just going to freaking do it and enjoy this moment because we don't know how long this time will last, right? We don't know what's going to be around the corner. So instead of worrying about those things, we're going to just move forward. Okay? Our chariot was going in reverse. It was going back towards just trying to look over everything that we've already done and fearing that what if we lose that or what if we don't have that anymore? We're going to put that out of our freaking heads. We're not going to be irresponsible, but we're going to be responsible for our own joy and making our own selves feel good in this moment. Seeing ourselves for who we are. We're not just a mother. We're not just an employee. We're not just that person's best friend. Okay? We are our own person and we deserve happiness and joy. Thank you for watching. Thank you for indulging in this weird tarot reading that I've done. But like I was saying before, if you watched my introduction video, I mostly read intuitively, and I do so. I read cards like I read people and read things around me. And that's what you've got today. Just some photos from my journey home and what message I got from those images that I was able to capture for you. Like, comment, share, subscribe. If you want to see more videos like this, drop it down in the comment section and let me know. Peace.